Welcome back, Cyprus users. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the chart of account, how we can define the chart of account into the Cyprus system, and how you would be able to update the chart of account, as this is one of the mandatory steps if you want to configure the chart of account, if you want to post the transactions and use the financial management into the Cyprus system. So it is very important to define the chart of account. We have already discussed that how we just need to upload the chart of account while creating at the level of the client configuration. You just need to give or provide the chart of account, so that system would import that chart of account onto the Cyprus system. So once the chart of account is imported, thereafter you just want to update something, you would be able to do so. So let's move on to the system and we'll see how we can create the chart of account if there is some another chart of account we need to create. Okay, so I'm at my login screen, Cyprus admin. Since my client is already generated, it means my chart of account is already in place. So let's move on to the financial management, and under financial management you would be able to see the accounting rules, and the accounting rules you can see the accounts element. This is the window where you would be able to define your chart of account. So as I have mentioned that the tenant is already set, and you would be able to see the chart of account, right? So here my all the assets, liabilities, everything is all in place. The owner's equity, right? The revenues, the expenses. So all these things are already available at the chart of account. So if I want to make the changes, I would be able to make the changes. So if I want to, let's say, checking in transfer is going to be my bank account, so I would be able to say the bank account. So if I just want to say this as bank in transfer, so I would be able to make these changes if required. Okay, so at this level, the search key represents the ledger code, the name represents the ledger name, a little description about the ledger. The summary level represents that you want to generate this as one of the folder. Under that folder, you want to keep all your ledger codes. And thereafter, the account type represents which kind of ledger code it is. It is asset, expense, liabilities, memo, owner's equity, or the revenue type. And then the sign is whether you want to make it as a debit or credit, or it is natural. So when you define it as debit or credit, it means that the ledger is always posted into the debit side, and credit means it is always posted into the credit side. When you select the accounting side as natural, it means that the same ledger code can be debited and can be credited at the different transactions to mark up the values, right? Whether you want to post all these items as actuals, budget, or statistical, you just need to mark. By default, it comes as true. The document control represents that this ledger code cannot be utilized at the level of the GL journal. And if this ledger code belongs to a certain banks, then you would be able to define that for which particular bank it is. And if it is a foreign currency bank, then you would be able to define the foreign currency. If it is a currency ledger code, then you would be able to define that is a foreign currency, and the currency would be able to define here, right? So normally I am not used to define bank account and the foreign currency account. Since there is no problem, I never figure out while utilizing the system. So there is no, I never marked actually. Right. So once it is run, thereafter I just need to make it into a proper hierarchy. So if let's say I want to, so this is an expense code. I just say I want this expense to come at this particular place. So I will drag and drop. Okay. So resource absorption, I can drag and drop. Overhead absorption, I can drag and drop. So in this way, I would be able to drag and drop these ledger codes, right? So that is how you would be able to set up your chart of account. Now, apart from that, let's suppose you want to generate a new chart of account. So in such a case, what you need to do, you would come at the header, just say Cyprus account or whatever the name you want to give. You just need to select your type as account, and thereafter you just need to select the calendar. Okay, so I would probably ask you select the same primary tree, and thereafter you would be able to define. So mark it as all these are natural accounts. If you want to select as user defined, then you would be able to select as user defined. Okay, sorry, at this level. Okay, and balancing means the ledger code has to be balanced, so you would be able to define in such a way as well. So once it is defined, thereafter you just need to move on at this particular place, and you can export your Excel, and thereafter, so let's say I just want to export and the current row, so you would be able to export it out, and thereafter once it is exported, you just define your chart of account in this particular Excel. So you just need to define your chart of account in this particular Excel, and thereafter you would be able to import that from the button, and in such a case you just say insert or update. So I just want to say insert and select my file and choose my file, and thereafter I can upload that file and say okay. So once it is done, it means your chart of account is pulled by the imported by the system. In case you would not be able to see your hierarchy, right? So this tree, in such a case you just move on to the header, move on to the tree, and click on this verified tree. Okay. So once you will verify tree, and thereafter if you log out and log in cache is set, you would be able to see all your trees at this particular level. So that is how you would be able to set up the chart of account, and this is one of the important thing, because without the ledgers you won't be able to do the accounting into the Cyprus system. So that's all about the chart of account. If you think that this knowledge is good enough, and you would be able to define the chart of account into the Cyprus ERP, then I would request you to share among your colleagues and subscribe our channel. We'll come up with new videos. Till then, thanks a lot. Bye bye.